This is Tina Neff, and today I'm going to show you how to convert a file from a different word processing format, such as Microsoft, and convert it to a Google Doc. From there, I'm going to show you how to take that same doc and convert it to a self-grading test. So a lot of schools are converting to Google, and many of us have several Word documents in which we've created tests, especially those multiple choice tests, and we want to change it to a self-grading form. So what I'm going to do first is to search for a test online. So you can create this file from your drive, but you can also take something you found off the internet. So I'm going to search for a test in Word doc. I'm just going to use the first one that comes up. So when I click on that, because I don't have Word on here, it's going to open up in Google Docs, but it's not going to get access to all the different editing features. So when I click on File, it shows you that it's in Office compatibility mode as well. So if I want to use all the editing tools Google offers, I'm going to save it as Google Doc. I'm going to convert. Now, our system's a little slow here, so I'm actually going to open this up. I've already saved it previously, so I'm going to open it up with all its features. So now, this is going to stay on my drive and has all of the editing features of Google, but now I want to turn this into a self-grading test. So you have to obtain an add-on. I already have this added to my account, but if you're new to this, you click down the bottom, the add-ons, and you're going to search. So this is the one that you want. Since I've already added it, mine says manage, but if you don't have it, it's going to show up in a blue box that says free, and then you'll add that. You click on that free. Since I have it, it's already there. I click on add-ons. I'm going to go to doc form, create form from doc. So open this menu off to the right-hand side, and it'll give you options. So I'm going to click all of them, click their username, ask for their name and the teacher's name. So now we're good to start instructions. So instead of typing all this stuff, I'm going to highlight that whole first text. And I'm going to click Control-C, copy. I'm sorry, I don't need to do that. I can highlight it and then select the text. It's now going to appear in the box. Now, this is saying type here for your type of question. If it's text, it's going to create a short answer. You can opt for that, but if I want to keep it multiple choice, I'm going to put the options there. In this case, I'm going to select multiple choice. And then to add the options, we're going to type the thing in, but just separate it with a semicolon. So I can go back again and just copy paste this time. So I'm going to hit Control-C. Copy it, and then Control-V to paste it. Now, I don't want the A showing up in here, so that way I can scramble answers if I want to. I'm going to just go to the end of that, put the semicolon in, and then repeat that process of copying and pasting. So Control-C, Control-V. Again, I'm going to take that letter option out. You don't want any space between the semicolon and the selection options. So one more time, I'm not going to use all the answers since this is just a demonstration. Control-C to copy, and Control-V to space, to paste. Now, I'm going to create just one more question. So I'm going to click on Add Question, highlight it, and use selected text. One more time, I'm going to select multiple choice. Control-C to copy this. Control-V, semicolon, and copy the next one in. And I'll just put one more in here. Copy. Make sure your semicolon's in there. Now I'm just going to use those two as an example. And this is not letting me see the entire menu here. There we go. So now from here, I'm going to hit Create Form. So I can keep adding each question, but once I'm done, I'm only going to use the two here, but once I've entered all the questions that I want, I'm going to click Create Form. It automatically saves to your drive. I'm going to click View Form here so I can open it up more quickly. So this is what it's going to look like. Now, the nice thing with collector usernames is if you forget to put in a question that asks for their name, it doesn't automatically collect name until you collect their username automatically. So if someone forgets to answer that what is your name question, I now can tell by collecting that data. So this is what it's going to look like. Now, since I want to use this as a quiz and not something like a survey, I'm going to click on settings. So they have general settings, presentation, quizzes. I'm going to select quizzes, activate it as a quiz, and give you options here. You can immediately release the grade after they've submitted. You can choose later after a manual review, and then you can choose what the student can see: missing questions, correct answers, or point values. I'm going to take out the correct answers. So that way if someone has to make this up, they can't cheat, they can't get any information from someone that's already completed it. Now to create my answer key, so it self-grades, I'm going to click on the first question here, and you'll see down the bottom, once you've clicked on it, it says answer key. So I now select the correct answer, and then I want to assign a point value for this. So if it's just going to be 1 point per question, I choose that, but I can adjust it to any value that I want. I'll put 1 in for my second one. You have to click answer key every time in selection, and you also have to assign the point value every time. So now my answer key is complete. So when I share this with students, I click send, and I have a few different options here. I can send it via email. I can post a link. You can share it through all different formats, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, communities. But what I usually do is select the link, shorten it. I'm going to copy that, and I can go into Google Classroom, select one that I want to add to, and I'm just going to choose one that I created for demos so the students aren't getting alerted that they have this test they didn't know about. So I'm going to create an announcement here. I'll give it a title, Odyssey test, and then I'm going to click on this little link here and paste that link in there. Add the link, and now I post. So when the students click on this, they're going to see a format that is just, and when I click on it here, I'll show you what it's going to look like for them. So that way they can't see all the settings in this. And so it looks a little bit different than the teacher's copy. Now I'm going to open up one that has already been graded so you can see. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take that quiz myself so that way I can show you from the start. So I'm going to put in the name, the teacher's name, and select my answers, and submit. And so that's what your student would do. When I open the file that I created as a teacher, it's going to show you how many responses you've received. So if you have 15 kids in your class and all 15 have taken it, you're going to see the number 15 for your responses there. Now I want to see the responses, so I'm going to click on that, and it gives me all kinds of data on the students who took this. So it'll look a little bit better if I had more than one person here. But if I want to get a breakdown in a spreadsheet that makes it a little bit easier to see the grade, I click on that green icon for Create Spreadsheet. I can create a new one, or if I have an additional class that takes the same exact test later, I can choose either create a new one for their specific class, or I can just add them onto the original spreadsheet by selecting the existing spreadsheet option. So this is the first time I'm using this one. And this is what you're going to see. The timestamp tells me the date and the time that they took the test, the email address of the person taking the test, it'll give you their score, and then all of your answers. So then if they get something incorrect, it's going to highlight that. So I'm actually going to take that one more time, give some incorrect answers, see if I can get some. So I'll collect some correct answers, submit. And then my spreadsheet automatically updates. So as soon as someone takes that, you will see their score immediately without creating any kind of new spreadsheet. So now I can see their scores 0 out of 2. And now you'll see their incorrect answers listed in the columns. So what I often do, if I want to make this a 100-point test, and I only have, let's say, 25 questions, I can make each question worth 4 points, so it does all the math for me. And now I can look in their score column. I look at the name. I can actually sort this for the name column. And I usually ask for last name only. I'll type it as a separate question of my own and choose last name only because it just makes it easier. Um, I do sometimes ask for both first and last names, but the students often put them in the wrong position. So when I try to put this in alphabetical order, sometimes things get a little bit mixed up just because the students aren't following the directions. But when I click on that drop down menu, I can choose to sort the sheet A to Z in alphabetical order. Now, since I'm the one that took this both times, it really doesn't show you anything, but it would put in alphabetical order, which makes it a little bit easier to enter into the gradebook much more quickly. So that's how I converted. I've started converting all of my old files into this, and it saves me an incredible amount of time in grading, and the students get your feedback right away. I can now enter their scores in less than a minute in PowerSchool. So if you have any questions, just shoot me an email or stop by to see me, and I can help set you up on this if you have any questions.